Welcome to Organizational Behavior 280, offered by Harper College. You're either taking me for an online class or a face-to-face class. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. This chapter's learning, we'll be talking about leadership. Now, we have many of you uh, already have some experience either by taking Introduction to Supervision, Introduction to Management, or Introduction to Organizational Behavior, where they talked about the skills and the traits and attributes of a good leader on an individual scale. When you're looking at this course, always remember this is organizational cultures. At the next level is how does a company or organization maintain good leadership? How do they train them? How do they bring them in? So the leader from out of this learning that you're going to be looking at are leaders that will match the organizational culture. So I bring the right type of a leadership. If I'm an organic organization, I want more of a creative type of a leader. If I'm a more of a mechanistic type of a culture, I want more of an autocratic type of a leader. But what you're going to find out from all the reading that we basically need the combination of both, depending on the situation, which leader type or qualities or attributes are needed. So let's start for the first definition. Influencing employees to voluntarily pursue organization. I said voluntary, we'll find out. Because remember, my job as a leader is to convince an individual that is in my team to be that this is the best thing not only for themselves but also for the organization. But you'll find out from the reading that men and women do have different leadership styles. Both men and women are social. You know, we have to have that social, the emotional intelligence that I've been reading about from previous chapters. Men, for nature, I'm not stereotyping, but generally are more autocratic, more direct style than women. Women, for nature, because they're nurturing and everything, are more participative, use more of a democratic approach than men. But what's going to happen in a lot of organizations, we try to train both men and women so they, both of them, uh, depending on it's not dependent on the sex, uh, but I mean on their gender, but on the skills that we want them to use. So I want men, because they're doing more team, to be more democratic, more participative. And then on the other hand, I want more women leaders to be more, once in a while more autocratic and more direct. So what you're going to come up with a balance, a combination of both attributes of men and women in either man or a woman. Now, the study looked at them when rated by their peers and managers that women seem to be a little more have more effective in their leadership style than men. And that basically, if you look in more organizations now are teams, are all very team-based. And in team-based, you have to have nurturing, you have to have more of a participative. And that comes very natural for a woman. Where a man is more directive, you do what I say, and go this way, more autocratic. But men are beginning to change, just like women are beginning to change to be a little bit more assertive. So you had the trait theories, certain traits. I'm tall, I'm muscular, I am a certain gender, I'm a certain culture, I'm a certain type. So those traits work for you, but can also be work against you. They're not the only thing to make an effective leader. Okay, so then the next one you're looking at is behavioral style. Now, behavioral style is basically what I could teach certain behaviors to individuals how to be effective leaders. The Ohio studies identified two critical dimensions: considerations, mutual respect, and trust of followers. You can see trust is the fiber of all leadership. If my team doesn't trust me, or if I don't trust my team, you're not going to be an effective team. You're not going to. You're just going to do what's required, but you're not going to go out. You're not going to have that feeling, that intrinsic thing of what I want my team to do. I don't want to be always just doing everything just to so I don't punish or reward them. I want them to be proactive. I want them to be empowered. I want them to take calculated risks, and that's where women are better than men. The men will take risks, but women will think it through and do more of a calculated risk. So they're, for lack of better words, and if you look at a lot of research, they're a little more, they're a lot more effective than a lot of men leaders. Okay, now you have Fielder's contingency model, and to the degree the situation gives the leader control and influence. Like it or not, and through the communication, other chapters you had, depends on the leaders. It depends on the situation. It depends on the environment. It depends on the culture. It depends on the task and everything else an organization does. What kind of a leader type we're at. So if I'm looking at leader-member relationship, the support, loyalty, trust of the work group, that's a big important factor. If I have those, I manage one way. The other one is how much structure performed by the work contained within these tracks. Sometimes as a leader, I want to lead them, but the structure or the work process makes me a little more ineffective. So it's a little harder to lead. So that's where organizations have to look and listen to the leader and say, maybe we should change some of the structure. Maybe we should change some of the policies to make it more, to give not only the leader more flexibility, but also to give the team members more flexibility, to be able, an empowerment to be able to address the issues and situations that they need to resolve with the customers, clients, or the outside environment that we're all dealing with. And then looking at the tax, tax structure, how much structure, performing a group, position of power. Leaders agree. Leaders do have a formal power. You have reward, punishment, and if I only use these two, all I'm going to get is complaints from my employee. Or my team members. What I'm trying to do is get more than a complaint. I want them to step out of the box, go above and beyond what's required. Not only looking for the reward, not always worried about the punishment. And that depends if they trust the leader. They know that I won't, chew their head off, for lack of better words, if they make a mistake. But as long as they're trying and they learn from their errors, and because of errors and the mistakes, because I give them some flexibility that they've learned, that they become more effective, not only as team members and and also me as a leader becomes more effective. Now, path and goal theory, they basically looked at the leadership behavior. When do I become when should I be directive? When should I be supportive? When should I be participative? When should I look at achievement oriented? In reality, we need all of them, but it depends on the time and the situation and when, and depends on the team, which one role do I, or attribute or skills that I implement. Now, leadership effectiveness, look, as a leader, it's not what I do. It's what my team does. Because I'm judged on not what I do. I'm judged on how my team works together, how they cooperate with other teams, how they come up with solutions, how they participate. And they have surveys. Are they satisfied with the job? Is the performance showing? If they have poor performance, a lot of times you can say, well, I got all losers. And that's not necessarily the case. They're going to look, what's the common denominator? That's why you were hired, is how to improve the performance and satisfaction of an employee. But then you have to look at it. The employees have some characteristic, locus of control or experience. The employees, how much empowerment do I give them? A lot of leaders like to control everything, micro. But you really have to let go. The more you let go, the more the individuals get to self-worth. The more the individuals will try different. The more the individuals will resolve the issues without always coming to the leader. Me, I only have one way. I want them to come to me on situations that are out of the box, something that they're not sure of. It's not a routine. It's something that could affect the organization or the team. Then I want them to come in. But otherwise, they should be able to resolve a lot of the issues. And a lot of times they need clarity of their own roles and how far they could go. And that's for the leader. And that all depends how the organization is structured and the tasks of the organization and the items that the organization allows individual workers to do. Now, the environmental factors against the group dynamics, some groups gel real well. Other groups don't gel. What we had from the other things with team building and everything else, but you found out that a lot of groups gel well. You bring another individual, and he or she may mix up the group, which is good because you don't have the group thing. But because of that mixture, and it's not maintained or looked at by a leader to make sure they bring the person in so they all have the same values, clarity of the roles, I basically have a conflict. If I cannot control the conflict because of one or two individuals, like it or not, as a leader, I have to remove those individuals out and bring new individuals so the team works is functional. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to move along here, and we're going to look at situational types of leader. When I look at a leader situation, it depends on the task, the situation on hand, and situations change daily. It depends on the environment, what's coming in, depends what other factors that sometimes I may not control, but I have to respond to the environment or situation. So how ready as my team. If I have all new individuals, I have to be a little more directive and be more involved. If I have a team that's already a seasoned team, if they already know how to work, they know what I would expect out of them. They know that they could go that extra mile, and they know that they're safe because they trust me and they trust the organization. They're not going to be going after them if it doesn't work out because they're still working with them on the boundary. I don't want to go a free reign. They still have boundaries and so much. You know how much they could do without coming to me as always asking me questions. That's part of the thing. Now, when I'm looking at the readiness, I look at delegating. Sometimes I delegate. Remember, the difference between delegation and empowerment that we've read about is delegation I give, delegation I can take back. Empowerment means they are allowed to make decisions within certain boundaries. If the employee is not able to make those decisions, or he feels that he doesn't want to be empowered, he or she has to be removed out of the team, like it or not, as part of the leader. Because part of their job description is that they're empowered to make decisions where I don't have to, because there's fewer managers, because more people, when we read from Maslow and Herzberger, the job content, individuals now, they're highly educated, they have a lot more experience, they want to be able to put their hands in and able to solve the problems and all. That's why we hire that's why it's so important in the individuals we hire. Participating, we have to encourage this problem solving, have to encourage the team members to talk to each other. That's part of the leader's role. Selling. I'm a double major, marketing and management. I basically have the reward and the punishment of the authority or power, for lack of better words, as a manager. But I would rather convince them through the marketing and selling aspect, this is the best thing for you, this is the best thing for the team, this is the best thing for the organization, and this way I get more than just compliance, I get more of an input, and those individuals will take the step higher. Now, to guiding and directing, telling. A lot of times I have new employees, or sometimes it's a new task. I have to kind of direct them, give them some kind of boundaries, because you don't want to just go out there and work it out. Same thing when you're doing this, the papers or anything else you're doing in any of your classes at college. The instructors will give you some templates, give you a rubric, so at least you know what is expected of you. Now, the other thing is, if I look transcendental leaders, clarifying employees' roles, providing rewards and contingent on performance. So if I'm looking at leader behavior, this is what I have to look. Inspiration and motivation. As a leader, I got to show them the vision. I have to show them, here's what's going you. Use the emotional argument. We have to do this. We're a team. And, sometimes you can say, hey, you try to always do positive emotion. Once in a while, you could have negative. If we don't get this out, the company will go under. But I always try to do positive. Look, we can improve our performance, which means we get a higher raise, whatever. But, so you're looking at the inspirational. Idealize influence. Being a role model. They look up to you. That's why you've been presented. If you're younger an employee, you can say, what skill does this individual have? So be a role model. They're always being watched. You can say all you want, but they see what you do. Do you get involved? Do you help the customers? Do you help solve problems? Or you just wash it away. I'm a boss. Don't talk to me. Those are negative role models. Individual consideration, providing support, encouraging, coaching individuals. Some people need a little push. Other people just need a pat on the back. Other people need, hey, you're doing a great job. All this that they have the self-worth and everything else builds up their esteem, builds up their intrinsic self-worth, for lack of a better word. Intellectual stimulus. Give them jobs that are challenging. You don't have to resolve everything. Hey, how would you do it? And then if they give you something, if it's close enough, may not be exactly how you do it, but it's close enough, go with it. Remember, if you want them always to be like you, you're going to have miniature Dr. Georges. I want the creativity. I want people to step out of the box. That's what's going to make my team successful. That's what made all my teams successful, because they look, wow, George, he brings these individuals in, they're all over, and they come out. Look at how the team is functioning. Because remember, even if you have a baseball team, a hockey team, or any kind of sports team, it becomes on the leader. If the leader doesn't know how to control or what skill sets, what qualities individuals have, and use those qualities to their maximum, that person feels good. Now, other individuals may not have those same qualities, but they learn from, hey, what? I seen how he does. I could do this. You know, they may not be the natural in all of this, but they improve on their own skill set because of the leadership, and you stimulate the intellectual. Otherwise, they become bored and not motivated. You know, and so you have implementations. Best leaders are both transformational and transitional. The transformational leaders can be ethical and ethical. Always try to be ethical. Remember, if you start trying to cut the corners, after a while, your employee is going to think this is what they're going to do to satisfy you as a leader. Like it or not, you promote, you reward, and you punish. They're going to try to make you happy. You know, it's like an instructor. What does the instructor want? I give him what I want. What does my boss want? Because they say off my back, or that he'll give me the next promotion, he'll give me a good review, he'll help me out. So if you're ethical, they think, hey, this is how we play the game. This is what he wants. I will follow along. So try not to be unethical. Train employees to value diversity. Identify rewards. I mean, you can't talk about anyone. If they're a little different, they may be a little bit strange, a little awkward, but you don't say, well, that guy's really strange or awkward. What are the good qualities of the individual? You know, but this guy, a little bit different. You know, we're all different. We all have our quirks and our mannerism, but look at the skill set. Look what he knows. He's got the degrees. He is the best programmer. He's the best creative thinker. He's the best writer. He's the best graphic, whatever it is. So always work on that, okay? The next thing is this leader, a membership exchange, in-group exchange, partnership, mutual trust and respect, like each other. Try to find a commonality. Sometimes you have some quiet individuals. You have to bring them in with the rest of the team to work out. Out-group exchange, partnership, lack of mutual trust. A lot of times it's the team inside that don't trust you. They're going to talk to other people outside. And now other people that are going to come in the team, they're going to hear, hey, I hear so-and-so. Even though you might not mention the team, George is talking negative outside the team. Through the grapevine, it's going to come back to your team, and then mutual trust will be gone. You know, so managers should be careful. High performance. They don't create they have to create a homogeneous group. I mean, I have to get people to work together, different varieties, different cultures, different disciplines, but I don't want to have a group think. I still want them to be the individual, like a salad bowl, not so I still have a tomato, I'm still a lettuce, but we're all together and we take it, everything else. That's what makes the salad taste good. Certain type of leader. If I'm looking at a certain type of leader, most leaders, you know, I had managers that would just stand up and say, I'm the boss, do what I say, and that's it. If there's a help, they wouldn't even lift a finger. You know, a lot of times come in and help them. It's okay. What do you call it, as a servant leader, foresight, stewardship, build a community, listen to them, help them out, be engaged in some of the activities. It works out very well. Individuals enjoy that. Individuals, you become part of a team. And I know that you have to become part of a team, but you still have to remember you're still the leader. Don't get so much where you're friendly that you don't want to basically start doing something wrong. You don't want to hurt anyone's feeling. You're looking at not to have their friends. You're looking at they respect you and trust you. You are still in charge. It's still your team. You're still making this team go forward. If I wanted everyone to like me, I would never give them any chance that they dislike. So they have to know George is respectful. And when you tell them something that they may not like, tell them your rationale and reason. I always tell them, here's what you would do. They may not agree with me, but they see where I'm coming from. That helps them understand me. That helps them understand how I think, and it helps them develop their own leadership skills, and they see how I have to adjust to different individuals, to different mannerisms, to different cultures. Okay, but the last one is the 5 hierarchy. Remember, I'm always looking for capable individuals, makes productive contribution, has good skill works that happen, talents, and I'm not talking about leaders or team members. I'm looking at contributing team members that they have certain goals. Let me just move this over a little bit. You know what I mean? They work well together. If something is out there always fighting, backstabbing, that person is out of the team. You have to either correct them, try to change your behavior. This is not to fire them. Firing and discipline is my last resort. I try to talk to them, convince them, try to coach them. But some individuals, I have to turn from my participative type, theory Y type of leaders into theory X, boom, and either get rid of them, because you have to look at the whole team. You are there for the team to work together. Your position as a leader is to make the team that functions and works as a well-oiled machine. All right? Competent managers, that means I know how to organize people, I know how to organize resources, I'm effective, clear and compelling vision, stimulating higher performance standards. And as an executive, I have to have humility. Look, I don't know everything. So when I'm looking at a different leader, who's in charge? if someone else in my team has more skill set, I took over engineering. So I'm not an engineer. I understand engineering through construction and everything else, but when it comes to very technical engineering questions, my direct report, who has all the background engineering, I turn it over to him and trust in his ability and his skill sets that he and the team understands that. He's not an engineer, so they'll look to him and he understands that if somebody else, even somebody else that is at a lower pay grade down there, even just an individual worker, but he or she has a skill. Let's say he knows how or she knows how to do Facebook, and I'm trying to incorporate Facebook. I don't know anything about Facebook. I may be a computer program. I will bring that individual in there and put them in that lead position for that task. That gives that person self-worth, intrinsic. It tells the other team, if I got certain skill sets, I go to not only to George because he may not know, but George, the leader, is to look at the whole team and how the whole thing works. So this is the chapter in leadership. Remember, and you're looking at it from an organizational perspective. How do organizations hire people? How do organizations bring the culture in? So my name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is a quick review. You have your book, you have concept maps, use them, write your own words and your verbiage. This is Management 280, Organizational Behavior, Chapter 14 on Leadership, offered by Harper College in conjunction with Blackboard Course Management System. Have a nice day. Bye.